Kindly like the video and subscribe our channel for daily updates.
So in our yesterday's session, we completed till mathematical functions, right? Today we need to look into these aggregate functions and datetime functions. Aggregate functions and datetime functions are basically used. Datetime functions are very important in our real-time applications, and aggregate functions are used for reports especially. So we'll first of all start with these aggregate functions. Select count of star from employee. This employee table is available in what database? OrgDB. How many records do we have?
90.
So it is showing
Count.
90. Count will count the number of records. If you want to count star means it will apply count on the complete record. If I say select count of employee ID, that means we are counting
ID.
employee ID. So how many employee IDs do we have?
90.
So we should get 90. Now again I am applying count on department ID. So how many department IDs do we have?
90.
90. So 90 records we have. So what do you say?
90.
90.
That's a null.
83. Why are we getting 83?
It will omit the null values.
There are few null values. So count will not count null values. There are few null values. So when you apply count on department ID, it will exclude nulls. Fine. You can alias this as number of employees. Column name will be NOE, number of employees. Sum average. Select sum of salary. I want to know how much salary are we paying to all the employees. Sum of salary as sum of salary from employee. This is the total salary that we are paying. If I want to know what is the total salary we are paying to department 100, same thing, I need to add where clause, where did equals to 100. This is the total salary we are paying to department 100. I want to know what is the total salary that we are paying to those people who are not on project, on bench. So we are not, who does not belongs to any department. Are you all getting things? Sum of salary, in the same way we have what is the maximum salary that we are paying, or sum, after sum we will go for average salary. average of salaries. That means on an average, what are we paying to each employee? So we are paying this. So we are getting again. So we should, it is better we should go for round to two precisions. So what will be the value? 89. Is it clear? Simple things. Average salary. Now, if I want to know what is the maximum salary that we are paying, max value from this. Max sal. 10,000 is the maximum salary. What is the minimum salary that we are paying? Min. What is the minimum salary that we are paying to female?
Gender is equal to.
Where
Gender is equal to.
gender equals to F. I hope you people are getting the things. This is the minimum salary we are paying to female. That is female. What is the minimum salary for male? Let us see. Right? Are you getting? So these are aggregate function. We get one value out of many available values. I'll get what of this.
Tribute.
सॉरी अगर वो ट्रेन डाले तो कितने जनों का देता हूँ मैं मतलब 2-3-4 जनों को देता हूँ मैं ट्रेन बोला तो 2-3 जनों को देता ना टाइस है शायद
टॉप
नहीं टाइस टॉप टाइस के चूज कर सकते खाली इसके अलावा नहीं
टॉप
नहीं लेकिन तो खाली टॉप के वास्ते यूज होता है
ये जो मेन जरूरी है
हाँ
तो ये स्केलर मतलब एक ही वैल्यू देते हैं अक्सर एक सिंगल वैल्यू साइज में क्या है चार वैल्यू चार वैल्यू की डिस्कशन नहीं है समझा ये फंक्शंस में स्केलर फंक्शन डिस्कस कर रहे हैं जो सिंगल वैल्यू रिटर्न कर
We are getting single value. There is no. See, there can be many people who are getting this much as minimum salary.
If you want such a thing, I do like 4 minimum salary. 4 minimum salaries like that. Not we use that ascending and descending and top to use that.
The aggregate function means it will get a single value. That is the meaning of your aggregate function. Now, coming towards DateTime function, you have getDate. Select getDate. It will give you the current date and time. This is the current date and time. Today is 31st. Select year, it will give you year will have an argument.
Year of get date.
Any date you pass. So you get year from this. Now, if I want, I can say select year of DDYY 1989. Now I can say select star comma year of date of joining from. Are you getting what are we trying to do? We want everything plus this is date of joining, this is year of joining. So in the same way you have month and day. Select month of get date. This is the first month and I'll say day. Fine. Simple things. Yeah, we can do all those things. I'll say select get date. Now I told you in our yesterday's session that I think here we learned casting, typecasting we learned somewhere.
Yeah.
Here we have.
Other
Okay. Casting, I have discussed cast. I did not discuss convert and is null, right?
Yeah.
Convert is specially used. It is also for typecasting, but it is specially used for DateTime. I'll show you. Convert SQL server convert function in SQL for DateTime. There are codes that you need to remember. Need not to remember, you can just see those things. So here we have if I use the code 100, then it is going to display DateTime in this format. Convert comma 100. Expression date style. Target type also we need, that is varchar 50. Or some length, because finally I want a string. Convert this date time into string with this style. Jan 31st 8:19 AM. AM PM it will show. Copy this. Now you use any date time style whatever you want from this table. If you pass this number, you will get this style. If you want only time, you pass 108. You get only time. And basically what we use in USA it is MMDDYY, but here we use DD MMYY 105. You just do, you can see this. So this is a style that we use. So it is specially used to display date time in the required format, whatever you want. Now I'm writing a query. You tell me what is it I'm trying to do here. Select star from employee where month of get date equals to month of date of birth.
Employees who born in the month of Jan.
In current month, it is nothing related to Jan. Why? Because in an organization, HR people on the day one, they may think that, I want to buy gifts for all the employees who born in this month. So I need to put a budget. So we are applying this query to get how many people born in the current month. There are 8 people who born in the current month, in the month of January. Got the point? Is it meaningful query that we normally use in our real-time scenario? So in this way you can, search. Just I'm showing you, like, where are, in what scenarios you can use and where you can use. Select date diff. We want date difference in years. Start date. I'll write my date of birth. MMDDYY. And end date, get date. It will give you the date difference, start date and end date in years. So it will give me my age in years. So have you understood what are we trying to do here? We are trying to pass start date
Yes.
and end date. And what is the difference? In years, I want difference in years. So this is my age. I want the difference in months. I am 422 months old, right? So you can get the difference in days also. So I am so many days old. You want hours, weeks, hours, everything you can do. So this is date difference. I have shown you one example. I am so many hours old. One more scenario I'll give you. say if any employee, so shall I give this as assignment? Write a query to display employees who will retire in current year. And as per my organization standards, if employee crosses an age of 40 or 50, he should retire. If employee age reaches 50 or crosses 50, he should retire. I want to know how many of them are retiring in the current month. This is the requirement. So there are a lot of scenarios. One more example I'll give for date diff. I can get the age of all the employees, right? Select star, comma, date diff. I want to get the age in years. Start date is date of birth. End date is end date as age. This was the interview question asked in one of my interviews in my initial days. From this is the age. Fine. This is one of the scenarios. There are a lot of scenarios. One more scenario I'll tell you. We have an application for CRM, you can say customer relationship management. I should close any request that I get from customer within 7 days. And I want to see how many requests are still pending. Are you getting my point? I need to close a request. Say I have request table where I have request ID, request, whatever it may be, and date of request. And there is one more column called as status. So in this status, you can have open or close. Like gender, you have male and female. Now, as per my organization standards, request must be closed within 7 days. Closed within 7 days. So now I want to see how many requests are there which has crossed the 7 days and they're still open, so that I can work on them as priority. Got? Can you write a query? So this will be your assignment. Write a query to display all the requests which crossed 7 days and are still open. Is it meaningful?
Cross 7 days.
Yeah, they have crossed 7 days, but still they are open.
You don't want anything which is not crossed.
Yes, I don't want that. This is my requirement. Because I just want to see what are the requests which are still open and they have crossed 7 days, so that I should take the update from the team. Why have you not closed these requests? So I hope you understood date diff. there is another function that is date add. Date div will give a number. Date add will give a date. Date add will give a date. Now let us see this. Date add in days. Increment by. I said that our training session will run for 40 days. And we started our training session on 01/23/2020. So this will give me training end date. To this date, it will add 40 days and it will give me new date. Are you getting? Three 2020. March 3. It has included Saturday and Sunday. We need to exclude that. So in that case, if we include Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to add 60. Then this is our expected end date, 23 March. Are you getting my point? So date add will add days to your current date or any date. You can add days, you can add months, you can add years, you can add hours. Now select date add days. Normally if you order any product, it should be delivered within 7 days of date of order. So 7 comma get date. I have ordered something today, so I should get that product to my home on or before 7th Feb. Are you getting the point? Is it something real time? Same scenario in this. What is the expected date of closing the request? You have date of request plus 7 date of request, and we are adding 7 days to it. That will be the expected date of closing the request. Are you getting the point? Here I'll add one more thing. Write a query with all the above things. Do and expected date of closing. Are you all getting things? So this is what date add function is. Now I'll say select star from employee. This one I'll show you. As per my company's standard, if an employee crosses 50 years, right? If an employee crosses 50 years, he should retire. So I want the date of retirement of each and every employee. You write a query. I'll give you 5 minutes. I want to display all the employees along with date of retirement. And my requirement is if employee's age is greater than or equals to 50, or if employee age reaches 50, greater than or equals to 50, or reaches 50, or is more than 50, he should retire. So employee should retire at the age of 50. Are you getting the point? and then what we will do, we'll make is active to 0. Sorry. No, retiring in not in this month. I want all the employees with their date of retirement. I'll give you 5 minutes. It is 35 at 40 I want. Okay. I want date of retirement, right? So I'll say date add. I want a date of retirement means I want a new date. Date add. Years. Going to retire in 50 years from date of birth. Simple thing. Date of birth plus on what date they are going to become 50 years old, that is date of retirement. So basically in your project also this is the date of retirement. So I want to know how many people they have already retired. How many people who have already retired? Where? Direct?
The same date add year 50 comma date of birth less than get date.
Can we apply less than greater than on date time?
Yes, Manzoor, right?
Yes. If it is less than, get date. Is it less than get date? Greater than get date? You are getting all the records. Then what? You do this. Have you understood the question?
We have to get who all have been retired.
People who retired.
People all plus 50.
All retired. Have you got the question? I want to know. Already I gave that assignment. A query to display employee who will retire in the current year. This is about current year. Who will retire in the current year? How many people are going to retire in the current year? This is this. To know the information about those people who already retired. Okay, you think over it and you write. Is there any employee plus 50?
No, everyone is under 50.
Nobody got retired. So our earlier query was correct.
Yeah, less than get date is correct.
Where is our charger? Okay, if we change the criteria, instead of 50, let us make it 30. Less than get date.
In the where class, you need to change. It's 50 in the where class.
Okay, in where clause it is 50? Yeah, 30. So 42 people. You see their date of retirement is older than current date. Are you all getting? So there are a lot of things that you can do with this date add and date div. Select star from employee. Actually, there is one simple function that we did not discuss. Department ID is null, right? Normally, I did in one of my projects. It was about Alpha Dubai Tours. I was working on that project. What do they normally do? They will always assign a driver and a guide to group of people, because it is tours, right? So a particular group of people, today they are going to have a tour of so and so area, so they are going to visit various places, so they should assign a driver and a guide. There are some scenarios where they do not have any guide assigned, so that guide ID will be null, right? Guide ID will be null and those values will be null, or guide name will be null, whatever it may be. So when we take a printout, in the guide place it was showing empty. You have guide names and in some places there is no name, it is empty, null. So they said that no, okay, we don't want that. Whenever there is no guide assigned, you should display a text saying that guide not assigned yet in the report, so that they will think, okay, we have not assigned any guide. So if you do not have any guide, let us go for third-party guides. So they have that business process. So just I'm telling you one real-time scenario where I use this. So in the same way, for department ID, I can use is null. We have that function parameter list, programmability, functions, system functions. Basically, I think it is in string functions. Okay, in other functions we have that is null. You have parameters. Check expression, replacement value. These are the two input parameters. In your is null, one is check expression. Second is replacement value. Check expression did, right? And its replacement value not assigned yet. But there should be some problem here. Let us see what is that problem. Converting varchar value to data type int. This is integer type and this is a string. So it is trying to convert this to int, which is not possible, right? Which is not possible. So what I can do, I can make it 0. Wherever department ID is null, we are displaying 0. Or I can say cast did as varchar 50, and I'll say I need one more bracket here. Did as, right, not comma. Got? Yeah, it is saying swing, not assigned. So we are trying to convert did into varchar, and here we are assigning a varchar value. I don't know whether you got this point or not. In isNull, both the types must be same. So did was integer, we are converting into varchar. Now this type is also varchar, this type is also varchar. Whenever this value is null, it will take not assigned. If this value is not null, then it will display that value. Now you see, you are getting all these things. Now here I'll say order by did. It says not assigned. Wherever did is null, it is showing not assigned. Simple function is null. Date name is also there, but it is not used much. Select date name. Interval day, comma date time, get date. This is the day. We have weekday. It will say Friday. That is the date name, and rest of the things are same. Month, January, right? So this is simple thing. Anybody any doubt in this? So you can play with date time, date diff, date add. These are interesting things. Date diff will give you a number. Date add will give you a date. Do always remember. Date diff. What is the date difference? So what is your age? How will you calculate your age? Simple. Current date minus date of birth. So date difference. That is date diff. Whenever you want to calculate the difference between two dates, then you use date diff. Whenever you want to add Y means I want years. If I write month, I want in months. I want the difference in years. I want the difference in months. I want the difference in days. So that's why we can write DD, MM, YY or whatever. Got the point? This will give you age in years. Instead of YY, if you write month, it will give you age in months. I hope now it is clear, right? Fine. See, anyone, if you have any kind of doubt, never shy to ask, because this is the place where you arrived to learn, right? So even if you feel anything that is very simple, but you are confused about it, you ask about it, because this is the time to learn. If you skip that point here, then as per my experience, throughout your life you will have confusion about that. This is the point where you need to clarify all your doubts. If I know, I'll explain. If I don't know, I'll Google and I'll explain what is wrong in it. Right. So on the day one itself, I told you, even if you get a doubt thinking that, void, what is void, should not feel shy that, I have done my engineering, I have worked for so many years and I do not know the meaning of void. So there is nothing wrong in asking even that kind of questions. Fine. Now, moving ahead. Grouping result sets. This is very important when reports are concerned. Whenever I want to display reports, I use grouping. Select distinct gender from employee. If I want to count number of females, I write this query. If I want to count number of males, I write this query. If I want to know how many genders do I have, I write this distinct. Select gender from employee. How many records will I get? $90 records I will get. It will display all the genders, but I don't want the repeated values. I want distinct. What are the unique values, distinct values I want? Are you getting my point? So it is male and female. So output will be something like this. Gender, female, male, female 54, male 46. 3 different queries, 3 different values. But I want all these things in a single report. So many males, so many females. I want this. I want gender and number of employees. I want gender and, are you getting? Gender and females. How many females? Males. How many males do I have? So I want gender and number of employees. So normally I will think of writing query like this. Select gender. Number of employees means count of star. Add number of employees from employee table. Is it making any sense? Is this query making sense? You can write gender. Just I want to explain this. See, I can just write a query and I can show you what is that, but try to understand the basic idea behind this. Count of star. This is fine. But what if I write this gender comma count of star, so that male how many males, female how many females. This is what I'm expecting. So I have columns and an aggregate function. I have a column. One is column, another is aggregate function. Till now what we have seen, either we have only columns or we have only aggregate function. You see all aggregate functions. These are all aggregate functions, right? Minimum, maximum, average, sum. We have only aggregate functions, or we have only columns. We have not seen any mix of aggregate functions and columns. Have we seen? Now what I want, the mix, gender and number of that particular gender. So we are mixing columns and aggregate functions. Are you getting my point? Now let me execute and see what it says.
Throw an error.
Employee gender is invalid in the select statement. It is saying that there is problem with this gender in the select statement because it is not contained in either an aggregate function or the group by clause. It says that it should be either in an aggregate function or it should be in group by clause. So I will say, okay, group by gender. That is what I wanted to do. I want to group genders. I want to see in my organization, I have all the employees. I'll ask, okay, all the females you gather here and all the males you gather here. So I'm grouping as per gender. So now I'll count how many females and how many males. So group by gender. "46 females, 44 males." On what column we are performing count, it depends. Normally we apply count on employee ID. Are you getting the point? If you apply count on department ID, it has some null values. So here, the thing that you need to understand, whenever you have combination of aggregate functions and columns, you should always group by columns. Got this point? Everyone? So whenever I try to execute this query, it will throw this error. Gender is invalid in the select list because it is not contained in either an aggregate function or the group by clause. So here you see you have column. Column is in aggregate function or column is in group by clause. So column should be either in aggregate function or you should group by that column. It says that. So this will be my query. Grouping result set. So I'll come to this later on. Let us try to understand here the things. Do you have any doubt in this simple query? From here onwards you can do lot of things. I have grouped as per gender. Can I group as per department? I want to know how many employees do I have in each department. I can say select department ID, count, group by. Is it meaningful report? Now, if I want to know in each department, how many males and females do I have? Subgroups. In department 100, so many males, and department 100, so many females. In department 101, so many males. In department 101, so many females. So what should I do? First, I should group by department ID, comma, gender. I want these two things. And here I should say DID, comma, gender. So column should be either in aggregate function or in group by clause. Now you see the result. Interesting. In 100 you have 8 females and in 100 you have 11 males. So let us order it by DID so that you will have proper result. Now, is this meaningful? Is this result meaningful? Everyone? People who are online, are you getting this?
Yes.
This is the basic foundation. If you understand this group by and order by, then you can do a lot of things. Now I want information in every department. How many females do I have? I want that. In every department, how many females do I have?
I can write a where clause.
Simple.
Where gender equal to F.
Yes, where gender equals to? Where gender equals to F. That's it.
But before the group by.
Okay, before the group by. Got it? So always your where clause should come before group by. Are you all getting the things? Any doubt in this? I want number of females in each department. So I'm getting. I don't want this null. Null is not a department, right? I don't want this null record. I don't want null record.
Yes,
And DID is not null.
Very good. And DID is not null. Are you all getting? Now, is this meaningful? I want to arrange them as per number of employees, as NOE. Can we order by NOE?
No.
Huh?
That's an alias.
I can say order by. Order by allowed,
Oh, okay, okay.
right? Order by number of employees descending. Got it? Yes. It will count everything. See, employee ID means it will apply count on only employee ID. If there is any null value, it will not count that. If I say star, then it will combine everything. So there are less chances of getting null values. It will count combining all the column values. So one row, it will count as one. So any column may have null value, so it will ignore that because the complete row is not null, right? Is this clear? Should watch this video again. Now, I want only those department IDs where females are greater than or equals to 10. Number of employees are greater than or equals to 10. Have you got my question?
and LOE
And
and LOE
number of employees greater than or equals to 10. Fine.
That won't work.
It will not work. Why?
Use the having plus.
Very good. NOE is a derived column or the aggregate value. So whenever you have an aggregate value, you should use having clause. Whenever you want to filter based on aggregate value, sum of the salary, average of the salary, count. So you should use having clause. Whenever you are filtering, see here you have two things, right? One is column, another is aggregate function. Whenever you want to filter based upon columns, you write in where clause. Whenever you want to filter based upon aggregate functions, you should use having. WGHO, having count of employee ID greater than or equal to 10. So this is the formula that you should remember. WGHO, where clause, group by clause, having clause, order by clause. In this order we normally write. I have applied all the filters with some real-time scenarios. It has everything. It has where clause, group by clause, having clause, order by clause. So how will it execute the query? It will first of all look for the columns, then it will apply where clause and it will filter, then it will apply group by, then having, then finally it will sort. Let us see the query execution pattern. Group by and having clause we have seen. FWGHO, the from clause assembles the data from the data source, because here we are working on single table, so from employee, but in future we will see we will work on multiple tables, so it will combine data from all the tables. Then it will filter with where clause, then it will go for group by, then it will perform any aggregate functions that it has to calculate, then it will perform having. Any remaining expressions, there might be some plus, minus, into, divide in your columns, then it will perform that. Finally it will order, it will sort. By the end of SQL Server, I will send you this PPT as PDF. Right? So need not to worry about remembering this.
So this is the sequence, right, Madhu?
Query execution order. In this order or internally,
Oh,
how
okay.
it gets executed. What are the steps that it performs? It will perform first this step, then this, then this, then this, then this. And we have seen practically these things. Is it clear? Any doubt in this? So I'm going to give an assignment. You have done students, right? I want you to display number of students in each grade. Number of students in each grade. 10 students in first division or distinction, then 12 students in first division, 15 students in second division, 13 students in third division, and 5 students failed. Like we have gender, male and female, right? In this same way. I hope you might have done that first query. Just we have M1, M2, M3 and you are displaying average, then you are displaying grades. Now I want you to, yes, same thing I gave you yesterday. Have you understood the assignment? Now for that assignment to understand, if you remembered in our day 1, I think, we wrote one query. Cases. Do you remember this query? I'll make it simple. Do you remember this? We were grading employee based upon salary. A grade, B grade. Now what I want grade and number of employees in that grade. Which means what? I want grade. I want this. Then I want number of employees. So I'll remove this and I'll say control X. So first of all, I want grade, then comma, count of number of employees as number of employees from employee where, or sorry, order by NOE. Now what do you think? What should I group by?
Group by grade.
Group by grade. WGHO. Group by grade.
Sorry, group by salary.
Group by
Salary,
salary.
not grade. Grade is an alias.
Yeah, salary. What? Actually, we should group by grade because I want to know like how many male and females. So we group by gender. How many A and B? So we should group by grade. But what is that it is saying for grade? Grade is invalid column. You cannot group by grade. It is a derived column. So you substitute this case, group by that case. Query may look little complex, but it is interesting. A grade B.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is this clear? Instead of order by number of employees, I can say order by grade. Can I say order by derived column? Yes.
Yes.
In A we have 49, B we have 41. So here I have introduced one new concept. In group by, you can substitute cases. Simple. If you look at this query at once, it looks very complex, right? But try to understand. We are trying to group by grade. This is very simple, right? You have grade, but grade is a derived column, so you cannot write this aliasing. So you should write the case with which you got this column or the expression with which you got this column. So we are substituting this expression. Now I hope you got this assignment also. Did you do in the same way yesterday? Very good. Is this clear? Do anybody have any doubt? I have shown all the permutation and combinations of all the clauses. Now you should be in a position to extract any kind of data from single table. Is this clear? Do anybody have any doubt in this? Those who are online people. Till now, whatever we have seen is extracting data from one table. Now, I want to extract data from multiple tables. Like I was showing employee ID, employee name and department ID. Now I want to show department name as well. So I need to get the data from multiple tables. So whenever I want to get the data from multiple tables, then I need to go for joins. Joins is like multiplication. So joins is used to extract data from multiple tables. like employee and a department table. Now I am trying to extract data from, I want employee ID, employee name. I have department ID here, but now instead of department ID, I want department name. So department name is available in department table. So I need to map these two tables and get the data from other table also. So whenever I want to extract the data from multiple tables, I should go for joins. We have inner join, left outer join, or you can say inner join and outer join. In outer join, we have left outer join, right outer join, full outer join. And there is one more join, self join. We will see that. Now, is this data meaningful? Yes.
Yes.
Now, employee ID, employee name, gender, email, contact, department ID. 1000, 1000, 1001, 1001, 1001. Do we have any employee for 1002? Is it fine? Okay. Do we have any department ID for 6 and 7? Is it fine? So this is meaningful data that we have. Now you see the result. $1,000 department name, development description, right? Development description. 1001. So I'm getting employee information along with department information. What are we missing? These
Department IDs with null.
And we are missing 1002. So we have, normally we call this table as left table and this table as right table. And always in many scenarios, you can say the best practice, we put child table on left, parent table on right. So we call employee table as left table and department table as right table. We have matched rows from left table and matched rows from right table. Is it not? We have taken matched rows from both the tables, left table and right table. You see this matching. Try to understand this. Is it? We have taken all these matchings. So this is what we have. Get only the matched rows from left and the right, and we call it as inner join. We call this as inner join. When we have matched rows from left table and matched rows from right table, we call that as inner join. Now, have you understood inner join? These are the tables that we have in our database, and this is the result that we are getting. So this result is the result of inner join. Now, how to write inner join, we will see. Don't worry about that. First of all, understand inner join. Next, same thing. Now you observe the result. What are we missing? From left, are we missing anything? From left table? And from right table? What are we missing from right table? In the result. What is the right table? Right. आपका right कौन सा है?
Department.
What are we missing from department table in the result? Sorry,
1000.
1000 and 1002.
No, sir.
Okay, 1002. So we are missing 1002 from the right table. And are we missing anything from the left table? No. So we have all the records from left table and matched records from right table. This is called as left outer join. Got? Now you tell me what will be the next join? Have you understood left outer join?
Yes.
What is left outer join?
All records from left table and matching records from right table.
All the records from left table and records from right table. This is left outer join. So this question is to Mohammad Sayyed. What is right outer join?
All records from right table and matching records from left table.
Right join
Uh-huh.
to left join.
Now you tell me, what do we have and what are we missing?
Something missing from right join.
What is that missing?
No.
Null. Very good. Null department IDs. And are we missing anything from right table? So all records from right table and matched records from left table. We have matched records from left table and all records from right table. So we call this as
Right,
right
left,
outer join. We call it as
right.
right outer join. Get only matched rows from left table and all rows from right table. This is right outer join. Understood? What is left outer join?
All records from left.
Yeah.
So missing from right table.
Missing. It is not missing. It is matched rows from right table.
Right table.
Getting? That is left outer join. What is inner join?
Both combination of two tables, left and right.
All लेना है, match लेना है उसमें.
Match.
Matched rows from left table and matched rows from right table. That is inner join. All rows from left table, matched rows from right table. This is
Right.
left outer join. All rows from right table and matched rows from left table. This is
Right.
right outer join.
Right outer join.
All rows from right table, all rows from left table. What is we call it as?
Inner join.
From left table, all rows from right table.
Join.
Full outer join. अभी नहीं पढ़ाया मैं. Are you getting? We have all the records from left table, all the records from right table. So we call this as full outer join. Is it clear? Have you understood all the joins? Inner join, left outer join, right outer join, full join. Full outer join. All the rows from left and matched rows from right, left outer join. All the rows from right and matched rows from left, left outer join. AB. This is inner join. Right? All rows from left and matched rows from right. All. So this is left outer join. This is inner join. So this is inner join. This is left outer join. All rows from right and match from left. So this is right outer join. Everything is full outer join. Now, how to write the query? For this, we want employee ID, employee name, gender, email, contact from employee table. Department ID, department name, description from department table. See, department ID I can take from any table because it is common in both the tables. If I want, I can take it from employee table, or if I want, I can take it from department table. Try to understand this. Select employee.employee ID, employee.employee name, employee.gender, employee.email, employee.contact, and department ID I am taking from department table. Department.department ID, department.department name, department.description. So we have selected all the columns that we want. From what table? Employee. Full outer join department. Now we are joining on what column? Employee.department ID equals to department.department ID. Is it clear? Foreign key equals to primary key. On employee.department ID equals to department.department ID. This is the query. Now just you change this full outer join to inner join, left outer join, right outer join. Whatever you want, you write, you will get that result. Have you understood this? Writing join queries. Let us see demo. Now I'll say select employee dot employee ID, comma, employee dot employee name, comma. That's it. I want these two things from employee table. Then from department table, I want department dot department ID, comma, department dot department name. From what table? Employee. Full outer join, or whatever you want. I'll write inner join first. Inner join. What in the inner join? What? Department. I want to join employee table with department table on what column? On employee dot department ID equals to department dot department ID. Have you understood this? Department dot department ID. Yes. Now let me execute this. Employee ID, department ID, department name, 101 department name is test. 103 is QC, 101 is test. You getting? We are getting the information from multiple tables. These two values we are getting from employee table. These two values we are getting from department table. Yes, yes. That's it. You can write in either way. But the best practice is whatever you have on left table, you write it on the left. Whatever you have on the right table, you write it on the right. Based upon this foreign key equals to primary key, you are writing join. How many records we get? 83. So nulls it is excluding. You can say order by DID. You can write order, right? Nothing wrong in it. 100 development, 101 testing, HR, QC. Fine. Now I will copy this. Instead of inner join, I'll say left outer join. So what should happen? I should get all the employee records. Where department ID is null, so department name is also null. I got all the records, 90 records, you see that. This is left outer join. If I say right outer join, I will get all the right tables. So we do not have any department which does not have employees. Is it not? I'll write a department, add department. 104 admin. Now you see that admin does not have any employees, right? This is right outer join. If I add full outer join, I'll get everything. Got everything? Admin and all the null values. Have you understood all the types of joins? Now you can simplify this query with table aliasing. You can call employee table as E and department table as D. Now here I can say instead of employee, I'll say E dot employee ID, E dot employee name, D dot department ID, D dot department name. And here I'll say E dot DID equals to D dot DID. Now query looks simple. If I do not write anything, if I simply write join, it will be inner join by default. 83 records. Mad rows from both the tables. Is this clear? Joins? Do anybody have any doubt? I don't want to display department ID. Will it work? That column should be in select list if you want to order by that. Right? So you can order by D name if you want. I want employee ID, employee name, department name. That's it. This is my information. Anybody, any doubt in this? Is it clear?
Yes.
Very good. Now, I want department name and number of employees in each department. Old concept plus this concept. Copy this. What do I want? I want department name and number of employees in each department. Is it not? Department name, number of employees. If I execute this, will I get the output? Then get an error. Then how to solve that error? Group by what?
dname. dname.
D dot dname. Same column. Group by this column.
Okay.
Now because this select has data from multiple tables, department name from department table, employee ID from employee table, that's why we are performing join. If I write full outer join, then you'll get very meaningful data. 7 employee does not belongs to any department. And there is an admin department which does not have any employee. Have you understood this? So we'll explore more about joins tomorrow. I think this is enough for the day. I want you to practice all these things. We have learned a lot of things. We have learned aggregate functions, and then we learned DateTime functions, group by clauses, having clause, then joins, inner join, left outer join, right outer join, full outer join, and joins and group by concept. So I want you to do little R&D on this join. Try to understand thoroughly what is left outer join, right outer join, full outer join. You practice all these things. Then we'll explore more about joins in our tomorrow session. Because in this week we have holidays. So tomorrow we'll have our session, same timing, 8 to 10. Fine. So those who are coming offline, they can attend the session from home, because I'll be taking the session from home on Saturday. So I'll send you this GoToMeeting link. You should have your good internet connection. You can just log in and you can get access to this training session. No, I will not be coming. You can attend from home. Or if you want to sit in the cabin and attend, you can attend. It's up to you. If you want to come to the office, you can sit in that cabin, not in the classroom. So you can attend from home also. Normally on weekends, we'll have sessions from home, right? So that बनाना था नहीं तो मैं असाइनमेंट दिया ना सेकंड ये डेटाबेस बनाना फिर डमी डेटा इंसर्ट करना. You need to create this database, insert some dummy records. See, if you have ample of records, then only we can understand all these queries. You see that. If you do not have ample of records, then you will not be in a position to understand all these things. Do table, that's it. Okay, then that's it for today. In our next session, we'll explore more about joins, and we will see how to write joins on 3 tables, 4 tables, 5 tables. There are scenarios where you need to write joins on 10, 20 tables also.